G'day everyone, we're here to show you how to do this African version of a pine car. For one, choose a piece of pine, 180 millimeters long, 45 millimeters in width and 32 millimeters in height. For this exercise we've really gone pretty old holes. They're 3 millimeters in diameter and they're about 16 millimeters deep. Now as you can see, you can have a lot of different versions of pine cars. The Americans, they've been playing around with this for years, but this is the African version in our own type of wheels, where we've actually gone and used the electrical bobbins that you can find on electric fencing. But the difference between our cars and the American cars is they've got nails that they use for axles and we're using screws, and with a bit of a wheel that we've cut off from electrical fence bobbin. After you've chosen the block of wood that you want to use, and you've got your holes pre-drilled, then you're going to be moving forward to what type of car do you want. Now you can go as simplistic as a brick, or you can go as elaborate as putting figurines in it. You can do a lot of decals, and you can go very complicated with the whole car. Or you can go with something like this, which took us about 3 months to make, which is quite difficult and takes a long. Or you can choose one of these that actually only took us a day to make. So after you've got your block and you've got your holes pre-drilled and everything's in order, then you need to decide on your design of your car. And for this purpose we've actually just going to go for a plain simplistic car, which is a wedge car, which is basically we're just going to be cutting from one end to the next with the holes, and then we're going to show you the decals on it. Now, the tools to use is pretty simple. We've got a drill that we've just drilled these with on 3 millimeters in diameter, and now we're going to use a saw just to cut this block in half. And as soon as we're done, we'll come back to it. So now what we've basically done is we've cut this block in half, so we've got 2 pieces over here. So what we've done is now we've got a wedge. And now all we need to do is now start cleaning off the edges, because this is going to be the final layer of what our car is going to look like. So all we're going to do is we're going to take off all the excess little edges that's on there. So we can take all the sharp edges away, so we can actually have a nice good clean finish to our little car. Now this is going to take you a bit of time, but the end result will be worthwhile, because not only does this car, which basically is at the end of the day a toy, but also shows you how to make something from nothing, because it teaches you how to build something and how to persevere and finish something once you've started it. Okay everyone, we finished filing and cleaning off all the little sharp edges and the loose little pieces of material. Now we're gonna, before we start painting or put any of the decals on, we are now going to put on the wheels, just to make sure everything is still working the way it should. Now, like I said, we've got different types of wheels that we use in South Africa. This is the back end of a electrical fence bobbin. And we're just going to put the wheels on to make sure everything does sit and fit the way it's supposed to. Everybody might think this is a bit of a waste of time, but this is just to make sure everything is working the way it's supposed to. Now, a lot of the people say you can use a dry lubricant or something like that, like graphite or something, but I have found that it really does not make a big difference, especially on these screws and the electrical bobbins, because there's a thread on it. The graphite really does not make a big difference. Now, there's no specifications on the internet or on the BSA website for the Boy Scouts of America, which actually dictates of how wide your wheels are supposed to be away from each other. It doesn't say anything like that, so there's no real specifications. The only thing that we do need to take note of is the height between your wheel and the track itself, and that will be the bottom portion between the track and your car. Because I don't know if you've seen, but there's actually two tracks running right through underneath your little car, which actually guide your car to go down the track. So you need to make 100% sure that your car is high enough to stay off the track. Well, everything looks like it's supposed to be working the way it should, so let's start with the paint. Right, since we've got all the other stuff sorted out, we know the screws fit and the little wheels fit and all of that. Now we're going to start with the paint. I've chosen a white color just to do the whole outlay of the little car, so that we've got a good base coat to work on. That's going to mean that as soon as we put the next color on, everything's going to come out exactly the same color. Right, here we go. We've painted the whole top side of the car with the white. I've had some of these little stickers available here with me, but you can basically put whatever you would like, you can put onto the car. It's as far as your imagination wants to carry you and how far you want to allow your imagination to go. But basically this is the end result that we've got here. All we're going to do now is put on the wheels, obviously one by one. Make sure the wheels turn as soon as you put them on, otherwise it's going to be not as quick as what you were hoping for. Of course, there will always be one that doesn't want to go in. And I just found it. There we go. All your wheels are on. Make sure all your wheels are loose and free spinning. That one is a bit, you can just loosen that a bit. There's that one. There's that one. And there's a little pine car. Ready to race. So what we've got there is one standard little pine car. Just as good as this one. Just as good as that one. And depends on how much you enjoy it, that's what the whole thing is about. So enjoy building your pine car and hope to see you racing soon.